welcome to A Ruined Chapel by Moonlight. I'm your host, Bertolt Gambro. And today I'm reviewing Dark Magic by Tom Williams. Dark Magic is a novella about two groups of magicians, the Maestros of Magic and the Carnival of Conjurers. The latter begins making a sensation with some truly spectacular performances that seem unbelievable to the Maestros, who investigate and eventually discover that the secret of the conjurers is in fact real black magic. What follows is a series of daring episodes of theatrical sabotage as the Maestros try to thwart their rivals. It's fast-paced and exciting, although still with a few moments to catch your breath and learn something about the characters, all of whom are quite well drawn considering how short the book is. If I have a quibble with the book, it's that it seemed like the Maestros were a little too willing, too quickly, to jump to some rather dramatic conclusions about the conjurers. Yes, they turn out to be correct, but even so it seemed a tad rushed. That's a minor point, though. Overall, this is a very fun story with an absolutely perfect ending. I half guessed it before it was revealed, but even so, it worked quite well. I know I say this about a lot of things, but if you like Twilight Zone type stories, you'll love this. I like magic shows and supernatural mysteries, so in that regard this book was perfect for me. There are a few ways in which it was not perfect for me, however. I'll try to say it without spoiling anything, but there are a few references to women meeting violent ends. Nothing particularly graphic, but most readers know that I'm always uncomfortable with female victims as the hook for mystery stories. Give me Stephen Leacock's body of an elderly gentleman upside down but otherwise entirely dressed as the victim, and I'm much more comfortable. But again, I want to be clear this is not a criticism of the book by any stretch. One of the characters suffers from extreme arachnophobia, and this is a major plot point. I'm not quite at the extreme stage. I can look at a spider without screaming and running away, but I don't like them. If the Thought Police ever took me to Room 101, there would certainly be spiders in place of rats. So reading about them can be a little creepy, although I could really empathize with the character who feared them. I also am mildly claustrophobic. Mostly this relates to elevators and an irrational fear I have of being stuck in one. And once again, this book includes a scene with a claustrophobic character who is trapped for some time in a confined space. Finally, I know I have at least one reader who is not a fan of chainsaws, and there's one critical scene involving a mishap with one of those. To be clear, I'm in no way objecting to these things being in the book. Rather, I'm complimenting the book because it's such a good story I kept reading despite these things, and found it to be quite a satisfying story overall. The book description says the author is familiar with the world of stage magic, and that certainly seems to be the case. The descriptions of the life of a touring magic show feels very authentic. This is a perfect read for the Halloween season. Creepy, weird, and tinged with dark humor.